Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my viewers based on your locations. My name is Rahmatullah Khan Muhammad, CEO of Gateway to Voice. In my previous videos, I've already discussed about the basic concepts of CUCM, its network configurations, command line interface as tools, with different sort of commands which are used by a normal administrator to carry out their operations. In this videos, I will be focusing on administrative tools, more administrative tools which are graphical user interfaces. There are a list of tools which are available in CUCM, which are really helpful for an administrator to carry out the operations in CUCM. So let's start with our today's session. As you can see, there are the list of topics which we will be discussing today. As you must be aware that we are using CUCM 8.6.2 version, which is the latest version, but not as latest as 9.0, which is out in the as a beta version. We will be looking into the administrative user interface in CUCM. As I have already said you that I have discussed this command line interface as tool in my previous videos, so I won't be touching it anymore now. If you have any more questions with respect to command line interface, you can post the questions onto my blog site or comments on my videos, which I will be posting it. Today we will be learning about unified operating systems and administration, and what are the basic configurations that CUCM provide us in order to have an administrative power over the operating systems. Okay, as you must be aware that all CUCM versions above 6.7.0 are Linux based versions, and that doesn't provide in-depth administrative powers for the operating systems. Then we will look into the unified serviceability option, and wherein we will be learning how to configure alarms, how to configure the network, how to configure the SNMP configurations, how to activate the services of CUCM, and under the services what are the tools, application specific tools as are available. We will configure that one as well. Then we move on to our disaster recovery systems, and as you must be known that it's really becoming a hot topic nowadays. Like disaster can happen at any time, so we need to back up our servers and restore it in case of any disasters happens. Then we will look into our unified reporting, and there are lots of features in reportings, like what are the phones which doesn't have been provided with the DNs, like the active numbers. We will configure, we will define those reports, and so on. So these are the list of topics which I will be discussing today. Then after this, then I will be going in depth of CUCM itself, like what are the basic configurations required to carry out it. So let's start with our as you must be aware of this as command line interface. This is the fresh installation of CUCM which I have done today itself, and it has taken around approximately 1 hour or so. If you're really interested in installation of CUCM 8.6.2, please do request me, and I will post the videos as soon as possible. It's not much when compared to 8.0 or 8.6.1 versions, and the only configuration is with respect to NTP server. That's it. You need to define that. Okay, so let me log in on to my into my command line interface tool. Oops. Okay, so the last time I log in today, as I said you that this is the first installations. There is not much configured in it. Okay, then I will take you to my Windows XP system. Okay, I'll open the Firefox. Note that as I said that I have freshly installed this server. Okay, which means that I have configured this server with a different IP address. In my previous video I said that I'm using 177.1.100.11 IP address, but in this video I'm using 177.1.100.12, which is an IP address of my freshly installed CUCM 8.6.2. okay, I click on enter. It shows me installation applications. Click here for Unified Communication Manager. These are the cryptographic features. It's connecting. Okay, so this is the welcome screen which you will be seeing as soon as you type the IP address, which says Cisco Unified Communication Administration for Cisco Unified Communication Solutions. This is the copyright process. That's it. The most interesting part which we will be discussing in this video are these four: unified reporting, unified administration, recovery, unified serviceability, and unified operating systems administrations. Okay, let's start with unified Cisco Unified operating system administration. Click on go. Okay, it's not much change. That the only change you see is Cisco Unified Operating System Administration. Okay, I'm typing the username admin and the password. Okay, it will take me inside at the operating system itself. As I already said you, there is not much exposure of the operating systems here. Okay, so let's start with the show module, wherein you will have a list of tools which are available under show option. Okay, start with clusters. This shows you how many clusters are available. Like as you must be aware that for for a network engineer, you must know what is the concept of cluster. Cluster is a node, okay, which is used to define a particular application. Okay, so in this video I've said that I've only got one cluster, which is a primary cluster, and which is called a publisher. We can have more 8 clusters which can be a subscriber but not be a publisher. So I think, if I'm not wrong, we can have one publisher and 8 subscribers as in a given network. Okay, so but in my present network structure I've only got one and cluster, which is a publisher, where you can see, and its IP address is 177.1.100.12. okay, then I will move on to hardware. Click on the hardware part. It takes time because it's collecting all the information about the hardware, like what platform it is running. Like I'm running on a VMware machine, as I've already said you. So it's the serial number, virtual hardware configured, supported. Okay, processor speed 2.0, CPU of i7, as I already said, with 2 GB of RAM, operating system no rates configured, and a size only disk of size 100 GB. That's all it shows you the hardware status. Okay, then we will move on to a network, which gives you the network description, like is whether the DHCP is enabled or disabled, what is the status, whether it is up or down, its IP address, its subnet mask, its MAC address, so on. Okay, if you're configuring and the DNS, then the configuration of the DNS will be here. Okay, then we move on to the software. It says active version 8.6.2 is unrestricted, which means I'm using a licensed version. Okay, unlicensed version is a demo version. Then now look on to our system settings. These are the same as which we have learned in our CLI based module, wherein we type show network. It will give you the list of details. Okay, this is the same, but in a graphical manner. Okay, so here it gives you the host name CUCM 862, or the date is 31st 12/14 to Riyadh. I'm recording this in Riyadh. Okay, I'm based in Jeddah. Sorry. This version, uptime, CPU speed, ideal, how much space, memory space is utilized, so on. Okay, then I will move on to the IP preferences. Like, what are the IP preferences? Like, what are running. Okay, these are the list of tools which are really handy when doing a troubleshoot process. Okay, then we move on to the settings. IP Ethernet settings, IPv4 publisher. It goes on to the Ethernet. Okay, this is what where we can change the IP addresses, change the default gateway, and if we want to enable our DHCP, we can do it. But note, if you make any changes to this, okay, your CUCM needs to be restarted, okay, to get a perfect working of the CUCM. Okay, then NTP server. Okay, as I said you that the only difference in installation of 7.0, 8.0 and 8.6.2 is the NTP configurations. It's really important, and it's become an important module for defining an NTP server. So I have configured an NTP on server onto my Cisco router on a GNS3, and then have defined that loopback as an IP address for NTP server. So this is my loopback for router 1 177.1.254, wherein and I will get the exact timings. Okay, so this is what it says. He says NTP server is not accessible. Yes, I know, because I have not opened my GNS3. Okay, I'll open it. I'm opening my GNS3. Okay, this is the module which I will be starting. I'm not bothered about these all three. Okay, okay, it's up and running. Let me move on again onto this. I'll refresh this one. Refresh. This cannot be accessible. It's take times, to be honest. Okay, it's taking time. Let me do a ping. Okay, check whether I can do that. 54. No, I can't able to access yet. Yes, there it goes. Pings. I can receive the pings. Okay, from my XP. Okay, then let me check once again. Oh, here it goes. It says NTP services are accessible. Okay, it's perfect. This is SNMT SNTP module, wherein you define the SMTP, which is simple mail transfer protocol. And if you are integrating this with your email services, so you need to type your SMTP server. Okay, time this is the time. Okay, as I already said you that since the NTP is enabled on this workstation, so you can't do your timing settings manually, so it will take the timings for NTP server. So it says the timing cannot be set because NTP is currently enabled. Okay, if I disable that, then you can see the option showing to change the timings. Okay, so where is the version? It says I'm using the version of 8.6.2, unrestricted version. I can restart or shut down the process. Okay, then comes security. This part is very complicated, and I will move on. I'll come back to this module later in my videos. Okay, but this is let's give me an overview like certificate management, wherein you need to define and the certificates, self-signed certificates of CUCM. Okay, once you get a license for this, then those certificates needs to be uploaded. Okay, certificate monitoring, like all the emails, notifications, revoke of certificates, single sign-on services. Okay, then comes the software upgradations, like this is the option which is used for upgrading your Cisco Unified Communication Managers from 7.0 to 8.6 or 8.6.2. So here we need to define things, customize logo of CUCM. Okay, if you want you can have your own company's logo. Okay, then comes the services ping. Okay, so this is similar to our ping commands in our Windows 177.1.254.1. Can I ping it? Okay, let me see. Yes, since I've only said ping iteration is 1, so it has given me the only 1. Let me do 5 with ping interval of 1 second and packet size of 55 kilobytes. You can change it if you want. Okay, there you go. So I can do the ping from commands. Okay, remote support, like if you want the remote support to be provided, then you need to type your account name and the duration, like how much time and that the remote session should be active. Okay, and this is the help which is used, which is really good help. Okay, take an example. If I want to contents, okay, so these are all the contents, like what you want, NTP server, like how you configure the NTP server, what are the settings, so on. Okay, and if you're looking for help on a particular page, like security certificate management, if you want this to know more about this one, click on help and this page, which gives you the information, like help on that particular page, like how to manage certificate, display certificates, how you will display the certificates. Okay, and then how you download the certificates, so on. So this module I will be discussing in my later videos. Okay, that's all we have for unified operating system administration and module, wherein a basic network configurations are been defined, and which helps the administrator to have a look at the settings of what IP addresses are configured, what are the systems, what is the hardware configuration, what is the network configuration which this server is running. Okay, then we move on to our next module of unified serviceability. Click on okay. It again asks you for the password. Sometimes it asks and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so Cisco Unified Serviceability alarms. As I said you that under serviceability options we can configure alarms. Okay, service groups like CM services, CDR, service database administration services, security services, directory services, system services. These are the alarms which we can configure. Okay, CDR, no. Okay, okay. Nothing. So we haven't configured yet, so we will configure that one as well in our later videos. Okay, okay, this gives you list of call manager launch catalogs which are used. If you click on this, it will give you the information. Okay, then comes the trace configuration. Like if you want to know what services are running under CM services, it says all inactive, call manager is inactive. Okay, so it will gives you the overall functions of this trace. Okay, troubleshooting trace, like yeah, if you check all the services, then which services is down, which services are up, you can able to know, which is again a handy tool for troubleshooting. Then comes the tools. Okay, under tools we have service activation module. Okay, this is the core for Cisco Unified Communication. As you can see, in every services, as there are list of services called Cisco Manager, messaging interfaces, Unified Mobile Voice Communication, IP media streaming applications, so on, so on, so on. And on the right hand side, you see that it says deactivate. Okay, so in order to get use of these services, get the benefits of the services, first we need to activate it. Okay, I will do the activation later on. Okay, then control center features, like whether it's running, up or running. Okay, so let me this one first. Okay, so in order to activate all the services, check on this one. Okay, check all the services. If you want, you can do it manually, which are the services which are required. Okay, this Cisco directory sync services which are used for defining LDAP, synchronization between and Cisco Unified Communication and Active Directories. So this is the service which is used. Then reporting services, as we said, and we can have those ones as well. So I'm activating all at one. Okay, and click save. Okay, so it gives you a warning saying activating deactivating services will take a while. Let's click on it. It takes a time. By the time it gets activate, I'll come back and resume the video. Okay, and there you see that all the services are in active mode before it were in a deactive mode. Okay, so once the services are activated, then we move on to our control center feature services. Wherein you can look into each and every services individually. Like if you want to select a particular services and know its status, like or if you want the services to be restarted, click on it and here is the button which says restart. Or if you want to stop, you can stop it. Or if you want to refresh, like what are the services as which are not in a running mode. This unified interface is not running, so we will check this one. Click on this and say start. Okay. Let's see what it gives you the message. No, this is not started yet, which means that there is one more module which we need to include in it, that I will show that one as well. Okay, so these are features of the tools. There are list of features. One which we are interested in, service activations. Okay, and this all for in this module. Okay, then move on to our recovery, disaster recovery systems. It's asking the password again. Username. There is not much. It says backup device, like what is the backup device, whether you are using a, a tape drive or you're not using a network defined and tape drive or anything. So you need to define. If you're using a tape device, it will be enabled, and if you're using a network directories, so type the IP addresses path where you want it to be stored with username and password and save it. Okay, that means as all the backup is carried over the network. Okay, and scheduler, if you want, you can have a schedule for backup, like weekly backup if you want, or a monthly backup, or if you want a manual backup, like if you want to have CARD and CARUCM backup, so all the backups will be started. Okay, history of backup, like how many backups you have done, so it will show you here. And current status, like if any backup is going on, what is the status of the backup. Okay, then this is the restoration process, wherein you will be using the wizard. So no backup device is configured, so you need to configure the backup device first, as in a backup device configuration. Okay, history of restore, what was the last restore, and status of restore, like how much it's been restored. Okay, again the help is very useful. Then we move on to our reporting services. Okay, okay, system reporting, click on it. There you have list of reports which you can do it. Okay, consider an example of unified cluster overview, like overview of the CUCM. Okay, if you click on generate report, it will generate a report about CUCM, stating about its configuration, software, network configurations, everything. It will be shown. Okay, all is being defined. Okay, so this is the reporting, which is very handy tool for administrator to define a report and submit it to the higher users. Okay, lastly, this is the one which we will be mostly focusing on, which is called Cisco Unified Communication Manager Administration. Okay, wherein we will be defining in the basic configuration of CUCM, and what is required, how we configure the phones, how we configure the LDAP services, as what configuration are used, and so on. So in my next videos I will be discussing about this in depth. I would like to thank all my viewers for watching this.